Hello, and welcome to this evening's talk on the power of positive intention. My name is Nilima, and I'm your host for this evening. Before we start, just a reminder that our talk this evening is being recorded and live streamed on Facebook. So please do visit our Facebook page and view the talk again or share it with your friends and family. If you'd like to follow our page, just like it and you'll get lots of information on upcoming talks, but also you get a chance to listen to our talks that have taken place in the past. Our speaker for this evening is Aneta Loy from Poland. Aneta has been a meditator since 2006 and is currently the director of the Brahma Kumaris branch in Poland. And she's also the research and development coordinator of the India One thermal solar plant in Rajasthan, India. She has also been involved in the UN work of the Brahma Kumaris Environment Initiative since 2013. Her professional career has taken her to the Far East, to places like Hong Kong, Japan, China, and India. So we are very fortunate that she has joined us this evening. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Aneta.
Thank you very much, Nilima. Good evening and greetings of peace to everyone, to all my brothers and sisters. I believe we are here because we share at least one same intention, which is to learn to improve the self. And I feel very humbled and very grateful, and it is my fortune to be able to share with you my understanding, my experiences, and my attainment in the topic of the power of positive intention. So today is also a very special day and we are lucky to meet today because we can say that this positive vibrations are all around us today. And this is because in India, they celebrate a very special holiday. It's called Krishna Jayanti, Krishna Anamashtami. So it means that today they celebrate the birthday of Krishna, Krishna Janamashtami. And there is a lot of stories behind this celebration, but what I understand and what I believe is relevant for us today is that this birthday is the birthday of perfection. So we can celebrate the birthday, which means the emergence of that what is inside, the pure inside qualities, the inner qualities, they emerge, they take birth, and then we all can enjoy. So I believe it's a very nice coincidence, and I hope that will also help us to take benefit from this session today. So in the beginning, I would like to propose that we start with a moment of reflection. There will be few reflections as we go, because I believe it's all about the inner work. We can get different input from outside, from other people, but if we want to take benefit, then we have to really look at it inside. So let's take a moment and let us relax. It has been a long day and a long week. So now it's time to relax, reflect, and recharge myself. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in the gratitude that you are able to spend this time for yourself, for your own benefit, which later becomes also the benefit for everyone who is with you. So breathe in gratitude and breathe out peace. So let your body relax and you, yourself, with a one focused, positive thought, go inside. Go to your mind, to the inner space, to your inner world. So for a moment, feel how it is to be in this inner space of yours. I feel it's very comfortable. It's a very safe space to be. It's bright. It is very open. So I can learn. I can listen to some new things, maybe some inspirations, or maybe I will just remember something what I experienced before, what I have forgotten, but it is also my inspiration for a change. So I feel very comfortable and very light, and with open mind, I think, what is my intention for coming here tonight? Why am I here? What would I like to achieve? I could have spent this time in a different way, could have been somewhere else, but I decided to come and be here. Why? What was my motive? What is my intention for me? It's good to clarify it so I can take better benefit. And then there is another intention, which is much deeper. And I don't need to answer this question now, but what is my intention every day? Why do I get up and start my day with enthusiasm? Or maybe why I don't? What is my deep, basic intention for myself? So I take my intention for tonight and maybe the question in general with me. I keep them in my heart and I'm ready for the session. Thank you. When I was preparing for this program, I remembered one very short but beautiful story about positive intention, about the power of positive intention. It's a story from Living Values Education, and I'm sure many of you know it. And if you don't know it, you will hear it now, because I would like to read it out to you. Stories always have some intentions, and mostly these are positive intentions. So let's listen to this one with the ear of intention. Let's try to catch the intentions of this small bird, the hero of this story. The title of the story is Fire in the Jungle. So sit comfortably, relax and just listen. It's a story by Henny Trails. A gigantic fire broke out in the jungle. The animals flocked together on the other side of the lake, and they gazed at the flames. A small bird, seeing what was going on, took a drop of water in its little beak and let it drop on the flames. It returned, took another little drop in its beak and let it fall again. And like this, it flew back and forth diligently. The rest of the animals just watched him and said to each other, "And does this one think he can actually do something with his little drop of water?" At one stage, they asked him, "Tell us, little bird, do you honestly believe you can put out the fire with your little drop of water?" The little bird answered, "I do what I must." And just then, and went by, saw the little bird and produced a great rainfall. And the fire went out. So just a small, beautiful story, but with a lot of meaning. And sometimes it helps us when we hear a story to remember it and then to use it in our daily life. So this little bird for sure had a lot of positive intentions. What kind of intentions? Why did he do it? Because he loved his family, because he loved the place where he lived, because he was good in his heart. He was good because he was courageous, because he was honest. He did it because he was committed, very loyal to his family, to his friends, to his home. So this is the positive part of the intention. But then there was also a power. And power came from the fact that he actually followed through his intention. Not only he had an intention, but he also did it. For sure, many animals had similar intentions, but they didn't do anything. So the power comes with action. And then the power came from above. And actually, this is when the impossible became possible. The miracle happened. And this is the power of positive intention. So the power of positive intention. Positive means the full garden of good qualities, like this little hummingbird had. But in our school, at the Brahma Kumaris, we would like to go a little bit deeper. And I would like to invite you also to consider it. We say, instead of positive, we say pure intention. Positive may be that I do something good for my friend, but then I wouldn't do it for someone else. Pure, it means I do it for everyone. Pure, it means I have good wishes, good feelings for everyone and always. There is no discrimination and there is no expectation. Pure means I'm detached and loving for everyone. Sometimes it is easy to have good wishes for the ones we love, but not for those who are far away. Sometimes it is opposite. It's easier to have good wishes for people in Africa, but not for people with whom I work. Pure intention means good wish for everyone in every situation. And of course, it's a process. We are not there, but it's good to realize that. So then, if I make it my intention to have pure intentions, I can see what are the steps I have to take to make it happen. Intention is not what, but intention answers the question why I do it. For example, there is a knife, and knife can be used by the surgeon to cut the flesh and then to heal the person. But the same knife can be used by someone who will cut the body and kill the person. The same object, the same action, but totally different intention, thus totally different effect, result of this intention. And again, the surgeon himself, depending on the intention, why he wants to do the surgery, the result will be different. If he or she wants to do it because of love, because of the responsibility, it's fine. But if he or she would like to do it just to show how good he or she is, that he or she can do it, that they are better than others, then the surgery would not go so well. Then actually every single and small act that we do every day, for example, giving flowers, the same flower can be given, but there will be different feelings associated with it based on the intention. Why I give this flower to someone? Because I have love, I love someone, or because I did something wrong and I want to apologize, or maybe I just appreciate. So intentions really define the outcome of the action. So we know what is intention, we know what is positive, or rather now I would say pure intention. And then there is the aspect of power. Power indicates that there is progress or improvement. There is a change. There is benefit involved in it. So I would say that power in this context is the benevolence. It's a power of benevolence. So bringing benefit. And again, this is something deep, but also something simple. I have to check, do I want to bring benefit in that situation, or do I have another agenda? And actually, the guarantee of benefit in the intention that I create is then when I create the intention in connection with the one who is always benevolent. I am sometimes benevolent, but there is one being that is always benevolent. It's like the ocean of benevolence, the supreme source of goodness. If I learn how to connect with him, her, while defining my intentions, then it will be guaranteed that this intention will be powerful. It will bring benefit for me and for others. So let's see how to do it. So why is it so important to speak about the intention and power of positive, pure intention? It is important because of the law that is universal for all people, even for the matter, for the whole world. And it's a law of cause and effect. As you sow, so you reap. And we all know this law. But again, maybe we should have a closer look what it means. We know that this so-called law of karma, it means that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It means whatever I do, I will receive the same reaction. Whatever I do. But is it really based on action? I don't think so. Just as I said a moment ago, it is much deeper than the action. It actually is based on the intention which is behind each action. Intention is like the seed of the fruit, of the result of the action that we do. That is why it is worthwhile, it's very useful to be aware of the intentions behind my actions, because whatever happens at the end will be colored, will be defined by this first thought with intention, why I do it. Not what, but why, then how, not what. In the Brahma Kumaris, we speak about so-called trajectory of life. Trajectory, it means the whole process. So very often, okay, sometimes we are happy, often we are not happy with our life or with the world in which we live. And then we want to change it, and we don't understand why is it like that. This trajectory explains the process. The world, which is like the tree with fruits, comes from the culture in which we live. The culture is created by our relations, by the connections, by our interactions, by our actions, by my actions. And my actions are the result of the way I see things, my vision, and my attitude. So what I want to do in which way. My attitude is the result of my thoughts that I have. And which thoughts? They say that we generate around 70,000 thoughts a day, so many thoughts. But the most important thoughts are the thoughts of intention. Why I do things. But where do these thoughts come from? They must come from somewhere. So all thoughts are growing from the soil of self-awareness. So in this way, we can go from the whole world back to the one thought of intention and back to the self-awareness. Self-awareness means who do I think I am? For whom do I consider myself? If my awareness of the self is not so good, not so positive, then, for example, I will think, okay, I am not so good actually. Nobody likes me. I don't know how to do this. I'm not good at that. I don't have self-respect. Then the thought with intention, which I will create, which will grow actually automatically from this self-awareness, will be an intention of wanting to show something, that now I am good, so people will appreciate me, will like me, will give me respect. And then the attitude with which I will do things will be like that, will be colored by this intention of trying to show, to prove, which means I want to take something from others. So then again, my words, the way I see things, my actions will be in this way, will be asking for respect because I did something, because I'm so good. So there may be an arrogance included in my actions. I may be arrogant, which comes actually from this low self-respect. And then the culture I create will be a culture of neediness. We all actually today, sometimes, more often, less often, are in this culture that we need things. We need things to fulfill ourselves, to feel better. And then what kind of life we create, what kind of world we create? It's a world where mostly people want to take, not to give. So now let's assume that my awareness of the self is positive. It means actually I understand. It's a matter of understanding and experience, always understanding and experience with experimentation. So I understand that I am actually the inner being. whatever I do, whatever roles I play, it's fine, but it's not me. I am this beautiful inner being, this being of light and love and lightness and happiness and power. Actually, all these values are inherent. They are mine. They are my inner qualities. They are my birthright. They are with me since the beginning. But what happened? I have forgotten about them. And once I start to forget, it becomes bigger and bigger. So now let me come back to this awareness of me as the inner being of light and love and peace and joy and inner power, because it is in me. If it wasn't, I wouldn't long for it. I wouldn't desire it, but it is in me. I have tasted it before. I have just forgotten. So now it's time to come back to this original state. And if I have this kind of self-awareness of being positive, meaning being pure, meaning being full of these inner treasures, no matter what happens outside, I feel okay. And then my intention will be to share, not to take, because I have it inside, I can share. So then my attitude will be an attitude of sharing, of giving, of bringing benefit to others. So then my actions will be accordingly, my interactions, my relations, my contacts, and then the culture will be a culture of abundance, culture of giving. And it has really nothing to do with the external world. It's all about the self-awareness. And in such a self-awareness, again, the seed, it will be a seed of pure intention. So the seed, which is the intention growing from the pure, positive self-awareness, guarantees the wonderful fruit of my actions. But in order to make it happen, I need to take care. I need to take care of the clarity of my intention. So I need to have this understanding of the self. It should be a conscious process, conscious creation, clarity, and then this intention should be aligned with the truth, with the original self, or maybe even more with the source of goodness, source of peace, source of love. So if there is clarity and there is this alignment with truth, then I can be sure that there is power in my pure intention. And then actually everything will become clear. What I want to do in my life, what I need in my life, how I can do it, and I will be able to do it. There will be no doubt, no fear. The decision will be clear and the path will be clear, and yet there will be help from above, like this angel in this little story. But, but of course, we have to be careful. We have to be cautious. You know, there is the saying, who has seen the back of his or her head? And at the back, there is very subtle but very powerful intention of ego. So recognizing intentions of ego is a very subtle inner work. Because sometimes even I can create this illusion for myself that I want to do it because I want to be good for others. But why do I need to be good for others? And again, this intention will define the result. of my action. And now I would like to share my example. What is my experience in this topic? So for many years, like 15 years, I worked in the corporate world. I had quite a high position, which allowed me to travel around the whole world. I was able to earn a lot of money. I'm sorry, I think I will just close the window. Sorry. Thank you. So I was actually quite fulfilled on this external level. I had a high position, everything was fine, nice apartment, nice holidays, but something was missing. After some time, I understood that I don't feel happy in what I was doing. So then I thought, okay, I should change because it started to feel like a burden. So I thought, okay, let me cut this bondage, let me become free. And I started to look for some other opportunities to become a humanitarian worker in Africa, things like that. But nothing happened. I was not able actually to decide and then to take action, not to mention to follow it through. So then it's already when I came to Brahma Kumaris and I started to study the spiritual knowledge and also to have this deep personal reflections, I was able to take a few days off and go for a silent retreat. And why I mention it? Because in this process, we need understanding and silence, power of silence. So I was fortunate because at that time I was able to ask myself, why? Why do I want this change? So actually it is worthwhile not only to say, I want to do this, but to ask why I want to do this. So I asked this question and I understood that I want to use my time, my energy, my skills in a worthwhile way. I want to be part of co-creation of the beautiful world. So instead of focusing my energy and everything what I had on sustaining that what was old, I wanted to see how I can be helper in creating that what was new and beautiful for everyone. And then when I made it clear, everything became clear, and also the help came. It was like, no, God fulfilled my pure intention. And I was able to decide clearly that I stop my job, however good it was. I resigned from it. And after some time, I got opportunity, which was so wonderful. I started to live in India, in Madhuban, which is our spiritual headquarters. And I was a part of beautiful project, India One Solar Thermal Power Plant. So in this way, all my pure intentions were fulfilled. I had time to progress personally because I wanted to do that. I wanted to understand myself better and I wanted to become powerful inside. And then I wanted to contribute to creating the harmony in the world, in the nature. And I could have not imagined a better way to do those two things. And I really believe that it happened when I cleared my intention and made it pure as much as I was able at that time. Then the help came and clarity came. So now, maybe for just a few minutes, we can have this little experiment. Okay? So now it's time for a little inner work, because really the basis of pure intention and the power is, this pure, positive, true self-awareness, which means we can say clean heart. So now, for a few moments, let me go back to my inner space. Now, I already know better my inner space, the safe and comfortable and bright space inside. I feel okay there to experiment and to explore more the purity of my heart, which is the basis of pure intention, which is the basis of my victory. So now, remembering that I am this inner being of peace and light, I can feel the presence of the one above, who is with me, the ocean of peace, the ocean of purity, the ocean of love. And in his presence, I can look at the mirror of my heart. And I can see how beautiful my heart is. It's clean, it's loving, it's calm. But there are some stains, and I know it's okay. And I know that with the help of the divine, it's no problem. I can remove the stains one by one. I send this pure positive intention for myself with power from above to remove the weaknesses which I accumulated over time, the bad traits that came to my heart. It's okay. Now, with pure intention and power of God's love, they are removed. And it's a process. This is just beginning. But it's good to know I can do it and how to do it. And then at the end, my heart becomes light and shining, like a diamond. I have a diamond heart. I am a diamond. So this is just an example of the process, just to show you how I do it, and you can see what you want to do it, what you want to do with it. It's okay. So intentions are like tools that create our life. They are like oil in the chain, of the bicycle. If my intentions are selfless, are pure, then my life goes smoothly in the right directions, and I achieve my destination, I reach my destination. If my intentions are not so pure, not so positive, then the chain keeps falling off and I can't move. And I wonder why I do these good actions. Why? But have I checked why? So it's a process of check and change. And every day, actually, we even can have a good, pure, positive intention for the day. This is very good beginning. But is it enough? Maybe not. Maybe by noon, this intention already a little bit diminishes. And then by the end of the day, it fades away completely. This is the nature of anything, what we create, and then we don't sustain. We need to sustain our intentions. Okay, motivation is the beginning, but then habit actually makes it happen. So one thing is to go through this process of cleaning the heart and creating positive intentions, pure intentions, but then I need to check and change. And then my victory will be guaranteed. Another aspect which I would like to say in terms of pure intentions and power of pure intention is the protection that we have. It's like power of pure intention creates this canopy of protection over me. It protects me from my bad intentions. It protects me from bad intentions of others. Why? Because of this law of cause and effect. If I take care of the cause, then effect will be fine. Okay, very basic. But for example, let's say that, and you know, when I was preparing for this program, of course, many things happened, because it is like this, that the one who conducts the program maybe takes the biggest benefit out of it, because has to go through this process diligently to be authentic as much as possible. So anyway, I had this nice experience this week when I was, maybe not that I was accused, but I was kind of, let's say, defamed. I'm just using these words. It was not so bad, but to give you an idea. So I could actually become disheartened and stop doing whatever I was doing. But then I thought, no, let me check my intention. And I saw that my intention was good. Of course, maybe it was not fully pure, but it was positive intention. And then also the way how I did it, it was the best I was able to do at that time. So then I thought, okay, fine. I don't need to go under influence of that other person. Of course, I can learn, I can change, but I'm okay. So I was able to keep my stability, which was very good. Then when we have clear intentions, we also can have difficult conversations. It's difficult sometimes to talk about some things, but if I do this inner work before such a conversation about whatever, politics, religion, diet, beliefs, climate change, if I do my inner work, why I want to speak to someone, then this will also give me power, and it will result in a good conclusion. Because if I decide that my intention is to come to common understanding, then I will do what I have to do to make it happen. If I just go like that, that may not happen. So it saves us from conflicts. Pure positive intention also saves us from disappointment. So often we want good for others, and we do things thinking that they will benefit, and then they don't want it. And then we feel disappointed. But if my intention was pure, I wouldn't feel it. It would be okay, because I just do it and I let it go. Do it and let it go. And there is also one story about one sister from Brahma Kumari's center in India. And this sister, she got some threats. She was threatened by a person. And this person told her to come by herself to one place, somewhere like in the jungle, in a very isolated place. So she went by herself. And when she came there, he came and he said, okay, so now what? Why you came here? And she said, I came to meet my brother. And this one sentence, which was expression of her pure intention, melted him, and he said, okay, I will not hurt you, I will not do anything to you. And also, if anytime you need any protection or anything in terms of you or your center, I will help you. Just expression of this pure intention, such a power of protection. And then the last thing which I would like to speak about is the power of benevolence. As I mentioned before, I really believe that this power of benevolence is possible then when we connect with the source of benevolence, with the one who is always benevolent. And it's easy and we can do it. It's available for us. So if you have not tried yet, please try it. It's a process. First, you have to remember that you are this inner being, being of light, and then you connect with the supreme light. And you can learn how to do it in the inner space in Manchester, or now there are so many different courses available online. So if you want, you can do. But I believe that this is the secret of the power of benevolence, of pure intentions. And, you know, like our Daddy Janki, she said that today the world doesn't need one person to become great, but the world needs community of greatness. Community of greatness means group of people who have the same shared intention to bring benefit. And then they add their specialities, their qualities in that direction. So here I would like to show you one example of community of greatness, which I believe demonstrates very beautifully the power of positive pure intention. And this is the project in which I had fortune to participate, India One Solar Thermal Power Plant. It's a research and development project in Rajasthan, India. And this is the first, and I think still the only solar power plant in the whole world that can generate electricity from the sun for 24 hours a day. It's very special. And this was possible only because of the pure intention to bring benefit, to give return to the nature for her sustenance and also to society. There were no motives like profit, like fame, nothing like that. It was a miracle based on power of pure intention. From nowhere, from no resources, no technology, no people, no team, this miracle was achieved. So now I would like to ask Ruth to play the short video which will demonstrate the power of pure intention, the benevolence. Thank you. Thank you very much. So this, I think, amazing work was done by a team of young engineers who have never worked in any other companies for such a long time that they could get experience how to create such an innovative technology. But it was possible because they had this pure intention in their hearts, and because they are yogis, karma yogis. It means they are doing whatever they do in connection with the source of inspiration and source of power. And in this way, impossible really became possible. So I think I would like to finish here. Still, there is a reflection, short meditation that I would like to do, but maybe Nilima can tell me whether we would like to finish this way now or there are some questions maybe. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a wonderful video, really inspiring and a good example of what pure intentions can achieve. We do have a couple of questions, so we'll address those first, and then we'll end with a short reflection. So the first question is, I agree with you when you say deep inside we have positive intentions. I want to share with others, but there is too much fear of others taking advantage of me, taking more than I want to give. How do I know where to set the boundaries?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I think it is right. And I also encountered the same challenge often. But I think it's a matter of practice. And it will not happen overnight, but it will happen if I practice. And what I need to practice is this self-awareness based on understanding that I am the inner being. It's a different focus. Instead of focusing outside, I focus inside. And then, as I said, this intention, this positive self-awareness is also like a protection. The more I practice, we call it soul consciousness. Soul means the inner being which is light and love and light and power. It is a matter of practicing this. And the more I practice it, the more I build up the stock of this positivity or power of purity. And then I will be safe. I will be safe from what others want to throw at me. And not only I will be safe, but I will be able, one of the powers that we practice and then we use is the power to tolerate. And in order to explain how it works, sometimes we use the image of the tree. There's this big tree and it's full of fruit. And then this boy comes and starts to throw stones at the tree. But what does the tree do? It doesn't throw back stones, but it gives fruits. So this is the power that we can accumulate when we practice the consciousness of the inner being and connection with the might house, the powerhouse, not the almighty. And it's a process, but again, understanding and experimentation. This is what is required, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be following on, Franz. Another question, but it kind of relates to what you've just said. They've asked, how do you build trust that God will provide?
Yes, not only, it's not a matter of trust, but it's a matter also of experience. Again, I will keep repeating myself, understanding, and then there is faith. But it's not a blind faith. It's faith based on the understanding of who I am and who God is. And I understand that God is my father. He's my beloved father. He is my beloved mother. He is not someone who sits up above and waits for me doing something wrong so he can punish me, like what I was told when I was growing up in Poland. No, nothing like that. understanding and experimentation and my inner experience that God is my father, and father will always provide for his child. Actually, there is nothing more that God wants than me to be happy, and he will do anything to make me happy. But I need to make effort, and my effort is to be with him. If I am with God, God will provide. But if my thought, if my intention goes outside, then indeed, even if he provides, it's not that he will not provide, he will provide, but I will not be able to take it. So I understand who he is and how he is. And then again, I practice in this consciousness of being the soul, inner being, to be with him. And it's also the most beautiful thing. I always wonder how the most effective effort, the crucial, the most important effort is also the most beautiful, because the feeling of being with him is the feeling of pure love. So I trust because I know, because I experienced, and experience is the greatest authority. Now I can, say many words, but unless you experience it yourself, you will not trust me. So just try, experiment based on the knowledge, and you will get this experience. And then you will know, you will have the faith. And when there is faith, they say there is victory. So like that, thank you.
Yes, that's true. I think you've already answered this question, but I'll read it out, and if you wanted to add anything to it. How do you keep positive, pure intentions when the world is such a mess? And they've given examples of what's going on currently in Ukraine, Afghanistan, Africa, the economic crisis, etc.
Yes. Yes, it's a very good question. Actually, when we look outside, it's the word of crisis. All this aspect you mentioned, and there is more. Like I work in the climate change area, so more and more I learn how we damaged the nature, and nature just is not able to take it anymore, so it has to react in this way. So indeed, it's difficult to keep pure intentions, or we can say hope, when we look outside. But again, I can't do anything if I don't understand it. Even, when I worked in this corporate world, one of the main things was always that we had to have key performance indicators that we would measure, we would map up the processes, so we would understand what's going on. So then we could change it if we wanted. Here also, the first thing is to understand what time is it that I live in. It's not even so much the matter of the word, but the time. And the time, on one hand, is is dark, is very bad. It's a world of suffering and pain for most of human beings and for most of beings, even for the nature. And it's a fact. But there is another point of knowledge which I gained, and I believe, and I know it is the truth, that this time is also the most beautiful time. This is the time for change. It's like now or never. And either I am in this time or I am in that time. And the difference is in self-awareness. So again, I come back to self-awareness, but I would add the understanding of the time. Because on one hand, it's the most degraded time. But on the other hand, this is the most elevated time, when we can return to the self-awareness of pure love, of peace, of wisdom, of joy, of inner power. And this is the only time when in this awareness we can connect with the one who is I would say, able to cleanse out all the dirt from the world outside with my help. He has never been dirty, so he is this ocean of purity, and his waves through us will reach to the world, and yeah, this miracle will happen, because that what is inner, the spirit, the spiritual energy is prime to matter, to physical energy. Everything starts with the thought, and the result in which we face today, the world in which we live today, is the result of our thoughts. So now we should not lose the hope. Actually, I would say it's much more than to have hope. I am confident that we can change. What we have to do is to return to the self-awareness of this pure, inner being, and connect with the ocean. And it's not a matter of losing hope, but it's a matter of building this confidence, experiencing it. And again, not me, but like Daddy Janki said, the community of greatness. Now it's time to create this community of greatness. And we have another beautiful project in Brahma Kumaris, maybe you have seen. It's called Golden Drops, co-creating consciously, co-creating the beautiful world. So it's time now to create this community of greatness, so the critical mass can be reached. And actually, I'm convinced that we can bring that the change will come about, because this is what we see in the nature. After night, there is always a day. After winter, there is spring. So it will happen, just whether I want to be part of this magical and conscious change or not. Thank you.
Lovely, that's great, thank you. We've just had a comment. So interesting to hear about the solar project and an uplifting talk. Thank you. I think we're coming to the end of our time, so perhaps we can have our reflection now.
Okay.
And then I'll just cover some reminder points after that.
Okay. Okay, so we'll finish off with short reflection. So now I know where I have to go back. I go back to my inner space. It is more and more familiar place, and it's good, because this is where the change happens. This is where I can become part of this community of greatness. This is the space where I can consciously co-create the beautiful world. This is the space where understanding what's happening in the world outside, I am hopeful, I am confident. So I keep my courage and determination to move on. And this is the space where now I can be in the company of the divine, the supreme being, the most beautiful being, the purest one, the ocean of love and the ocean of purity. And when I am with him, I am under his influence. So I can feel his waves of purity coming to me, to my inner space, and I feel them cleansing any dirt, any stains, any weaknesses, any negativities remaining in me. They are being cleansed out by him, the benevolent one. And in my clean heart, now I can consciously create a pure intention for myself and for the world. So now, let me create consciously new pure intention for me. And I take power from my companion. He is with me. It's like double force. It's guaranteed that the victory will happen. And then I send out this pure intention to the world. And it's like sending the pure vibration, pure energy, far and wide. And this energy touches other human beings and brings them some peace and hope and strength to change. And this energy reaches out to the nature, touches all elements of the nature, and they all calm down. And it's enough for them to regenerate themselves, thanks to this power of pure intention. And I can imagine, I know, the world will change. It will come back to its harmony, abundance, perfection, beauty. My pure intentions are like golden drops adding to this ocean, creating the new, beautiful world. Because my pure intentions are followed by my good actions. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anita, for that wonderful talk. Very inspiring and giving us ways of how to create positive and pure intention behind every action. And in that way, how we can change the environment around us, immediately around us, but also around the world. So that's it's been really, really informative. So thank you. And just before we end, just a couple of reminders. Next Friday, we don't have a talk, but the next event we have is in person in the Manchester Inner Space. So just a reminder that this will not be on Zoom or live streamed. It's an in-person event on Saturday, the 27th of August. And the head title is Emerging Human Greatness. And we have Sister Maureen, who's based down in London, coming up to give a wonderful talk. So please do try and make it. It's a great opportunity to listen to her. Registration is required, so please do visit our website, and there's a QR code at the bottom that will take you to the registration process. And also, as some of you may be aware, every third Sunday, we have a meditation for the world around us. And this is also, again, in person. You can just come along. There's no need to book for this event on Sunday, the 21st of August. That's this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Arrival is from 6:15. And it's just a wonderful way to spread positivity, purity, and out into the world. If you want more information on what the Inner Space offers in Manchester, please visit our website. All the information is there. There's a QR code there too. As mentioned before, you can follow us on Facebook. We also have Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. And we also, as Anita mentioned, the Brahma Kumaris is very involved in the environment, and there's another website that gives lots of information, and that's the eco.brahmakumaris.org. And just another quick reminder that for the month of August, we've had morning meditation from 9 to 9:20, and that's on Zoom. The details can be found on our website. So we've still got a week to go on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, and it's a fantastic way to start your day and set you up for the day. And you know, once you've done it, you can continue doing it on your own. And I really find the benefits. And I do notice that, you know, on the odd days when I don't get the chance to do my meditation, my day suddenly seems to go off track a bit. So please do try and join those if you can for this last week. So all that remains for me to say is, again, thank you to Anita, but also thank you to you all for taking the time out to join us. We've been having some wonderful weather. Well, up north, it's still wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, and hopefully see you again soon. Thank you.